That's not bad. Ooh, let's get the old Kurt Williams glasses on, as I used to call them many moons ago. Blood moon, if you think so. Right. Everything prepared. Go. Now, I was trying to remember what the case for Scion chess for the Atari ST was, because I'm sure I had that, but I can't remember if I had it as an original or as a copy. But I definitely played Scion chess on the Atari ST. Now, Scion did Match Point for Sinclair QL. Oh boy, there are not enough Sinclair QL videos, really. I'm talking about an unbiased review of the hardware of the computer. But anyway, I found this. It looks horribly faded, but it's actually in mint condition. It's been printed that way for some weird reason. Hey, Konami Arcade Collection by Imagine. Now, it seems to have conveniently come out just before Salamander was converted to the C64. So if you had Konami coin-op hits, you already had Mikey, Ya Kung Fu, Ping Pong, Green Beret. You did get some other games with that, I think Comic Bakery as well. But they've added Ya Kung Fu 2, which is just as shit as Ya Kung Fu. Jackal, which I can't remember if the UK or the US version is worth a shit. Shaolin's Road, which is shit. Nemesis, which is shit for the C64. Now, as I always say, if you had a ZX81 and then you got a C64 in like 1985, 86, and then you got Nemesis, you'd be perfectly happy with it. And Jailbreak, everyone's covered Jailbreak. But what's interesting is when you bought as much stuff, I haven't bought anything for like years, but when you bought as much stuff in the past, you end up with all sorts of stuff, really. Oh, is there a little black spot on there? It's in really nice condition anyway. Could bend the sides of the boxes a bit, straighten it up a bit, but the manuals are in mint condition. There you go, there's the manual, which you won't be able to see. And you get some sort of catalogue. 1988-89 Ocean, and try not to get fag burns on it. You never know, someone might want to buy it. And some important addendums for the instructions. Yeah, for Ya Kung Fu, which I won't play anyway. No important. Oh, actually, and also Amstrad Nemesis. Please see over leaf for Ya Kung Fu for the C64. Jailbreak, the game is controlled by joystick only on the C64, and Nemesis up equals semicolon. There's a colon involved in the development of Nemesis on the C64. I believe Simon Pick wrote that. Is it Simon? No, actually I'm not sure. It's a terrible game. Someone with the talent of Manfred Trans, who did Catechist, needs to be on the case and do Nemesis for the C64. I had a quick go of Tiny Us on WinUAE emulator. No, I didn't play it with the zip stick using the USB adapters, because sometimes when you plug USB things like that into my PC, it just blue screens. What, you thought Windows 10 doesn't blue screen? Well, it does. And I decided I did so terribly compared to playing it on main, which, to be fair, I don't do great at on the PC keyboard. That really, I'm still waiting for someone who said they would make a CDTV ISO, because it would be a trivial thing to do. Hasn't emerged yet. By the time it does, I'll probably fit the Gotek drive into the external disk drive. I've probably got one that doesn't work anymore. They're always useful, buying an external disk drive for the Amiga where the disk drive mechanism doesn't read the disks anymore, because you just pull that out, put a Gotek in there, and then you load it up with games and Xcopy. So you run Xcopy, load up a new ADF, stick the old blank disk in the internal drive that you're going to load from, and off you go. Good old Xcopy. The Amiga would have been shit without Xcopy, I tell you, mate. I tell you, innit? So I'm not really sure what I'm playing today. Operation Halve My Fuel Bills was interesting. Didn't use the central heating all day. In fact, I didn't use, well, one of the fan heaters keeps blowing the fuse. That's a nice one with the flame effect. Anyway, the other one will blow a fuse eventually, but I can't have those heaters on while the projector's on. Last thing I need is a fucking main fuse going. And what is Hyperspace? Have we played Hyperspace? Let's try Growing Pains of you know who. That Sue Townsend, she sure milked that idea, I tell you, mate. But it's not as much as that J.K. Rowling slag. Because Harry Potter, that shit fucking set of books, and even more shit films, or they could be equally as shit, I don't know. They're the reason why there isn't a fourth Narnia film. Now C.S. Lewis, let's compare C.S. Lewis with some fucking ugly slag drinking fucking economy coffee in a local cafe right here. Yeah, fuck off, mate. I can't be speaking to anyone who compares that stupid slag with a fucking literary genius like C.S. Lewis. And the films were done quite well by Walden Media. Although in the third one, I do believe the older characters were missing. You know, the older late teens siblings. So it's more of the same, actually. So anyway, it was quite interesting. So we had to go all 1960s, and you can get by with just well, not in the dead of winter, obviously not, but towards the end of winter and the beginning of winter, you can certainly make do with a hot water bottle. Might want to buy a spare one though, because I have had a hot water bottle leak. There is no tape, don't worry, mate. Yeah, we loaded the other one from tape, actually. Well, that's already a shit idea. The useless graphics have wiped out the first two menu options. And it still hasn't finished. Fission. Something to do with Pandora was one, so we do that. Alright, they're not actually choices, they're just him saying, alright, okay. Did I make New Year's resolutions? I can't fucking remember, mate, honestly. Those days are a blank nowadays. And you know why? The so-called, you know, pandemic is over, and I still haven't made that video public. The real one. The one when I actually read what the fuck was going on, rather than my dad saying, oh, did you hear Boris Johnson said the pandemic is over? Oh no, we've beaten the pandemic, that was it. So, 3 things annoyed me. 1, 3 of the last 7 days there's been no fucking figures for new cases, which is quite important to judge how risky it is to go out to the shops. Now you may laugh, but everyone in my family that I care about is highly susceptible to COVID. That's number 1. Number 2, I'd already smoked on and off for 20 years when COVID was a thing, and who knew that they would just give up trying to protect people from dying from COVID. So that's a bit of an issue, really. I don't want to find out the hard way whether I would survive COVID after... And you can say what you want, you shouldn't have smoked. Well, I'll turn around and say, well, you shouldn't drink then. Because I don't drink, I smoke, that's my thing. Some people get drunk every fucking weekend, and good luck to you, mate, if that's what you want. I used to do that when I was young. Technically, I was testing my ability to never have hangovers. But anyway, and the third and final thing I found out was there will be no second booster jab for me. Only people who have things like cancer, organ transplants, so they're on immunosuppressant drugs, and people over 75. So luckily my parents will be offered one, and my nephew. Oh yeah, I think there's also people on chemotherapy and things like that. But my sister won't get one, my nephew's mum, obviously. And I won't get one. And they haven't even discussed when people like me will be offered like a 4th booster jab. And it's very infuriating. So I thought I'd play this game that I'm probably not going to like. It's not really a game anyways. So anyway, you've probably read all that on the screen. Good. I can't remember where it could. Am I missing a game here? Because isn't Bert the old age pensioner? He's getting married to someone called Queenie. Say to my mother that I think it's disgusting. What's disgusting? I think it's a waste of time. Shouldn't that be, say to my mother, I think it is a waste of time? Because the third one, rush out to buy them a present. That doesn't make sense. It's really, yeah, they're really milking this now. I'm going to go with, I'm not going to rush out and buy them a present. He's probably poor. He needs his money for his computer games, I would say, and not this one. These are really, they don't really work, these games. They should be budget games, but because they're licensed, they're never going to be budget games. So again, I've decided to say I think it's a waste of time, and it still tells me that I will be buying them a wedding present, which was, see, that's what I don't like about these games. When you do interact, you have minimal control over what you do anyway, and you already have minimal interaction. Well, I should catalogue my library of 8-bit games, really. $151. That's a lot of books. Which of the following shall I do? Buy a small slim vase, choose some vitamin pills for Bert. Vitamin K! That's what he needs, although I don't think that would even help him. Buy 20 woodbines. Woodbines are, I believe, well, they used to be cigarettes without the filter tip. Seem to remember those from the early 80s. They're really disgusting people with very yellowed fingers and teeth would actually have them anyway. And obviously a slim vase. Just tell him your name. He's such a knob. Now, I can't remember who told me. It was either Mad Moments Go or Phil. That the books were kind of like this. There are, you'd be reading a book and you do make a selection. So it's a computerized version of the book of the TV show. I don't know if the books came out before the TV show. Like I said, those times are now very dim, distant, pound shop LED light bulb on its last legs kind of quality, those memories now. Eesh. However, my car did pass the MOT, which is quite important. I don't want to join the concert, so I'm going to say go home, and it might ignore. Intellectuals listen to Dire Straits, they don't play brass instruments. I don't know about that. Yeah, brass instruments. Yeah. Now, if you said the oboe, that's quite a deep sound actually. I quite like the sound of an oboe. I wouldn't play one, but I'd sample like one note from one and mess about with it on my Amiga, innit? So my score has gone down even though I'm being a thoroughly normal person. Oh no, he copied Pandora's homework. Is he a thicko? Well, you are a thicko then. Why aren't you doing your own homework, you dick? Oh man, I remember when I was at university and I was so good at the computer stuff, especially in the first year. I was like, really? This is really like university level of teaching. I'm like, ugh. And people would want like me to help them or to actually copy my work, except for assignments, obviously. And I was like, Jesus Christ, if only there was some really hot women in my university at the time. There was none that were single. I don't know about that, because Bramley apples seem to grow just fine with just rainwater in my garden, and you get shitloads of them. In fact, I have to cut some of the branches that go up too high because I can't reach them, so it's just a pain in the arse. Oh, the only teacher I really remember from my junior school days was a teacher called Miss Williams. She was a really nice person, actually. She seemed always happy. She was very smiley, very helpful. I think she was sort of like mid-20s, maybe late 20s at the absolute thing. She was just like a really nice kind of teacher, actually. I don't really remember any of the other teachers from junior school. Well, technically, everyone has to wear school uniforms, so I would agree with Miss Fossington Gore, even if she isn't as nice as Miss Williams. How about if I do nothing? Organise opinions, complain to the papers about lefty school teachers, organise a petition in support of it. I don't want to organise a petition. Uh, right, if Bert spent all his money, like cashing in his life insurance, to buy a new suit, then how's he in a new bungalow? Yeah, their sex life can't be up to much. This is... Yeah, I'm not going to say anymore, actually. Ooh! It is possible to recover memories. This has just reminded me of that. For years, there was... I suppose he was a bully. He was kind of very aggressive and obnoxious, but also shorter than me and quite not that much shorter, and very slim build. Very beans on toast for dinner sort of build that some kids were. And I knew his name was Paul. I knew he had a Diamondback BMX which he stole. I believe he used to shoplift on demand. So you'd tell him what you want, he'd go and nick it. I didn't do this, I'm just saying this is a rumour I heard. Now, for years I couldn't remember his surname. And then just one day, out of the blue, I remembered. I'm not going to say it. Actually, I better, because who knows. Paul Pinnock. And it's such an unusual surname. But he was kind of like this, you know. He used to wear the Dr. Martin boots, the Harrington jacket. I think he had a green one. And, you know, crew cut, very short, number 1, number 2 on the buzz cut, you know, army hairstyle. which you would do, not for looks. It's a statement. It's like, yeah, see, you can't grab my hair now to bash my head against the fucking wall in a violent fight. It's an aggressive statement, basically. Pandora's got a crush on Tony Benn, just like the one she had on Bob Geldof. What the hell, she got shit tasting men. No wonder she's going out with that ugly bastard. Valentine's Day soon. Ooh, a big card came from my mother today. It has a Sheffield postcard. Oh, I think her boyfriend that she ran off with, that she was having an affair with, they were in Sheffield. Throw it away. It's the best thing. I'm trying to keep Batfink Lucas out of our... Yeah, that's his name, Lucas. Batfink! Has been renamed. I think they should rename the Lake District to the Leak District. Ha ha ha! Very on topic for the time. Well, at least I'm not a Fico anymore. Well, not in this game anyway. I'm not sure that would actually work. Let's go with number 2. Change the subject. Why has my score gone down now? See, anyway. You have to do what Pandora wants if you want her to fall in love, stay in love, and marry with you, and not divorce you. I'll go with number 3. Oh, hang on. Does it say what Pandora's doing? Agree and help Pandora to... So I don't know. See, this is what I don't get. People rag on about Margaret Thatcher. And the reality is every politician, Tony Blair, Gordon Brown, I'm talking since Thatcher, you know, definitely Boris Johnson, what cocksucker, David Cameron, John Major, they all fucked us. By fucked us, I mean like people who actually work for a living, not people who fucking sit at a desk earning insane amounts of money just for being. I'll go to the Queen. But Margaret Thatcher was the only politician who got some things right. And if you ask me, the poll tax was the right thing. I don't know why the poll tax was so... Nah, why should me, in an empty house with just me and my cats, pay pretty much the same poll tax as a house full of 5 adults? Why? Someone's got to pay this fucking council tax shit. And I don't see why I should have a huge burden. It's a ridiculous amount of money. Anyway, he's Adrian Mole, so he can be a bit topical, but that's enough of that. Wow, it actually matches up. It doesn't say if he done it. So I'm going to do the tests. Miss Elf has resigned. Write a letter to the Evening Reporter. Miss do nothing. Do nothing. Telephone tables. Telephone tables, eh? I had a great cordless telephone in the late 90s. I believe it was Casio. It was white. It had like rubberized semi-translucent keys. Same sort of feeling as, you know, the Mattel Aquarius ZX Spectrum kind of thing. But they would light up, so if you put it on silent, the keypad would still light up with like a green, I don't know if there were LEDs behind there. This is a great thing. You could see straight away. And it had like the great big telescopic aerial light, you know, the 80s and 90s cars had. Yeah, there's always, Offer to help, go on. How would buying dog's meat, unless dog's meat is a specific thing, in which case there should be quotes in there from the butchers. Tell the dog that a diet would be good for it. Say my mother should stop smoking too. Oh, my father, right. Yeah, that'd do 3. Yeah, that's the correct thing. My father refused. What a cunt. Now, if I had to choose between tobacco and, you know, cat food, I would always choose cat food. That's a no-brainer. Delivered Mrs. Braithwaite's massive telephone table after school. It took 2 of us to carry it round and install it in her hall. I don't know how much money he made. There's just not enough information going on here. See, number 3 is probably what the character would do, so I'm going to do that. I'll tell him he has and refuses to give me. So whatever you chose, that sequence of events sorts that problem anyway. That's why I'm saying you're kind of redundant in this game. You're more of a passive observer than an interactive director of the events, not like the actual graphics and sound. What sound? Yeah, there's not even a theme tune. It's really bad. Is it level 9 that did Nighthawk? Because Nighthawk is actually quite a nice looking graphic adventure game for the C64. Tea and biscuits help. Sadly, my coffee's gone cold. Oh, of course, I forgot that one. For me, it's not quite like that. Nice food will always trump the desire to go and have a roll up for me. Nice food and diabetes don't really go well together. Ah, well. See, my option would be you shouldn't sit on it unless it was one of those ones that have got like the seat built in. Yeah, this is the kind of thing where really I need like a picture from like an early to mid 80s Argos catalogue so you can see what this thing is. Potentially. Always wanted an Alsatian, but a white one. Or a husky dog. Yeah, anyway, I don't like any of these options. Well, he has to go and fix it. I'll go with, get her a present anyway. Go and stay with Grandma, go on. Never lived near a canal, but I have been on a canal, some sort of school trip. Those sluice gates are fucking disgusting, mate. Make encouraging noises, as long as they're paying him to be useless at his job, that's fine. Yeah, that's number 3 is what I would imagine he would do. Lefty crap. But he was a bit of a lefty, wasn't he? Yeah, go down on your bike, mate. I press 1. Yeah. Hang on, this is a bit weird because usually it did say parts 1, 2, 3 and 4 and yet we're in April and it hasn't done any like loading. Yeah, fuck it all. Oh, the Argentine War. Read the newspaper for more information, what I'd do. I know the difference between the Guardian and the Telegraph. Ah, great, okay. Two seems like something Adrian would do. Right there, Adamski. That's funny. I suppose if you're playing this at the time, it makes more sense. I'll probably look it up in the dictionary if I was him. Well, he loves Pandora, so that'd be number 3. Oh, Chocky's licking the condensation on the way. Yeah, that is the thing. You can't never use the central heating because it dries out the house. That's quite important. Yeah, you might be able to use it once every 3 days, possibly. Anyway. Well, we're going to say yes, and the camera's going off now.